This Pokemon... Whoa, voice crack. I just woke up. This Pokemon is 5 Pokemon, which means we like it, because it reminds me of Execute. Rest in peace, Executor, gone too soon. National Dex, why? Taking most powerful Pokemon ever from the game. Anyway, today we are talking about new Pokemon Falinks. New Pokemon Falinks. I actually love Falinks' design. When I saw it for the first time, I was like, wow, I love this new Pokemon's design. And then I told you about it. Cool story, Wolf. Cool shiny form. Reminds me of some kind of like ice cream for some reason. Like it looks very much like chocolate, or maybe like little chocolate balls. Phalanx is like the Roman soldier Pokemon. Wait, what is it? What is it actually? Phalanx is the formation Pokemon. Oh, Phalanx is the Beyonce Pokemon. Excuse me. And it's super cool design. And there's a couple things about it that make it really, really fun. It's a really cool, really interesting Pokemon. It's really tall. Oh wait, no, is that 9 inches 10 centimeters, or is that 9 feet 10 inches? 9 feet 10 inches. It's very tall. Didn't expect that. Anyway, let's talk about Phalanx. Phalanx is pure fighting type, which is, for a while, like, fighting was, like, super good, and then it was, like, kind of fell off a little bit, and now it's, like, pretty good again, in my opinion. Although, we'll have to see how good fighting is this year. I have a feeling fighting is pretty good. It has the ability Defiant, which is traditionally one of the best abilities in the game. This year, there's less Intimidate, which makes Defiant less overwhelming, but it's still a very good ability, especially as certain max moves lower stats. Dark, Ghost, Bug, Dragon, normal, lower stats. So it's still very good. Let's look at the stats. Its stats are not amazing. Actually, its stats are, I really don't know what to make of its stats, if we're going to be honest. It's got not good HP. It has good attack, good defense. To be clear, the attack would not be amazing. However, with Defiant, we're going to give it to it. It's okay. It's okay attack. Basically, its stats are pretty mediocre across the board. Speed is not good. Special defense is not good. Defense is good. Attack is good/okay, and HP is not good. So, why is this Pokemon competitively viable? Why would you use this Pokemon? The reason that the stats are not better is because it gets a signature attack called No Retreat. The way No Retreat works is, at the cost of preventing Phalanx from switching, it raises all of its stats, +1. So, what that means is, you basically get to buff your stats by 1.5. All of your stats are multiplied by 1.5 except HP. Which you can, in theory, increase by Dynamaxing. So, because of No Retreat, Phalanx actually becomes viable. So, I built a Phalanx team like a week or two ago. I've been testing it on ladder, and it was doing so well that I actually saw people start copying it. I'm going to be using that team later today. The plan is to do it with Michael. As long as things like, I'm pretty busy this afternoon, but that's the plan, and even if we have to reschedule, I'll still use the team this evening anyway. So, yeah. So you'll be able to see my Phalanx team in action later today, or if you're watching this not in the few hours between when I post this video and I post the next one, you'll be able to watch it now. But yeah, anyway, No Retreat makes Phalanx really interesting. In terms of moves, First Impression is cool. That used to be Golisopod's signature attack. Now other Pokemon get it as well. I really like that they've redistributed certain signature attacks. That's like one of my favorite things about this generation, actually. First Impression is a really cool move. You're probably not going to be using it on No Retreat. However, on other sets like Assault Vest or Choice Band or Choice Scarf, if you were to run that, you could run First Impression. It's a really powerful move. The problem is that it only works on the first. It's like Fake Out. It works the same way as Fake Out. It gets Iron Defense. You're probably not using. It gets a couple other bug moves, which I think is interesting. It could very well have been Bug Fighting. I'm glad that it wasn't, because that would really hurt it. But yeah, it gets Mega Horn, Counter. I don't think those moves are amazing. Rock Slide, Helping Hand, you're probably not using. Smart Strike, you're probably not using. We'll get to Y in a second. You could run Superpower. It doesn't get Close Combat as well, but you could run Superpower. Bulk Up, Close Combat. Poison Jab, Zen Headbutt, Iron Head, Throat Chop. So, Poison Jab and Iron Head are both really good, because obviously Phalanx is weak to the Fairy type, and both of those moves, are super effective against Fairy type Pokemon. So I personally like Iron Head because of the way that I've been using this thing. I've been Dynamaxing it a lot, and so Poison Jab raises special attack, not especially useful on Phalanx, and also Iron Head raises defense, which is actually pretty useful on Phalanx. Further coverage moves, Zen Headbutt and Throat Chop are not bad at all. Zen Headbutt to hit other fighting type Pokemon. Throat Chop to hit Psychic type Pokemon, which is weak too. So you just got good moves, and no egg moves. So let's talk about sets. This is my set that I've been using. In theory, you can drop some speed points. I have this much speed. You could drop 1 speed point if you wanted. You could do this if you wanted, because this still outspeeds Adamant Barraskewda. But I figured at that point I may as well just do max speed. So this spread might look weird to you. It's max HP, max speed with 4 in attack and an adamant nature. I've actually been really liking this set. I feel like for the EVs, even though they look a little wonky, the reason why I've invested them in this way is because if you put max attack, then you have no bulk, and if you put max attack, max HP, then you have no speed. So the attack you can kind of like after +1, you're actually not too weak. You're actually strong. You have over 200 attack stat after +1. Wait, is that right? No, you're just 66. You're at 199 attack stat. I believe, if I have done math correctly. After a +1, so like, of course, it's not like amazing, but close combat is a powerful move, and the real thing is that you're very hard to remove after you use no retreat. So if you think about this thing, after a no retreat, this thing is like around 190 speed stat. It has so I'm comparing this with DD with Follow Me, which makes it very hard to hit, especially when you consider a lot of the spread moves. The most common spread move, in my opinion, right now is Rock Slide, because Excadrill have started running single target attacks like High Horsepower over Earthquake. So for that reason, it's very hard to stop Falinks from getting a no retreat up. And so after a no retreat, it's got 200 attack, 180 defense, 160 special defense, and then almost 200 speed. So it becomes very, very, very powerful. And it's also immune to priority, and it's also immune to intimidate. And if you Dynamax it, then it has 344 HP. So it becomes actually pretty difficult to remove. And its max moves raise its attack and defense, which make it even more powerful. So for that reason, it becomes extremely, extremely hard to remove, and I've really been loving this set, and I'm excited to show it to you guys in action later today. Like I mentioned earlier, you could run Poison Jab over Iron Head. I don't recommend it, personally. Poison Jab is weaker in its max form, whereas Iron Head is stronger, so like you actually end up using max Iron Head a lot, because there's a lot of things you don't want to be using max fighting against, so that's just my 2 cents. You can mess around with the moves. You could, in theory, drop Protect. In practice, I haven't really felt like I've needed to drop Protect, but you could do it if you wanted. Next up, Choice Band Falinks. This is an option for sure. People will expect no retreat, and so they're probably going to try and play aggressive against it, and so you can catch them off guard with this. First impression is cool at Oko's Weavile. So if your team has trouble with Weavile Colossal and you want to run like kind of a cheeky, like if you wanted to surprise people on the ladder, of course you could just run Conkeldurr and it would be obvious, but then there's counterplay to that, whereas if you ran Falinks, they might think that they were safe, and you could just, first impression, get the Oko, so I thought that was kind of funny. In terms of moves, you could run Throat Chop. I originally had Throat Chop over Rock Slide. I changed it to Rock Slide in the end, but you could run Throat Chop if you wanted. Close Combat and Iron Head as the last 2 moves. Again, you could run Poison Jab. I personally like Iron Head. On this set, it depends on what you're pairing it with. If your team is a bunch of special attackers, you could run Poison Jab. But yeah, for the most part, I think Iron Head is better, personally. I like Iron Head in general, and the flinch chance is nice. You never know when that's going to come in handy, so yeah. Next up, oh, sorry, I meant to change this to, sorry, actually, I meant to change this. I just forgot. I think I want to do, so with this set, I'm really torn on this set. I don't actually know what to do. I really don't know what to do with this set. Like, I feel like this is close to what I want it to be. This is like, so originally I was just like, okay, we're just going to run, like, offensive Falinks with Focus Sash, right? But that doesn't really make that much sense because no retreat boosts your defenses. So I think, then I was like, okay, well, it's really weak to flying types. So what if you ran, like, Cobra Berry, like, Rock Slide? That's an option, right? And just said, okay, we're going to deal with fairies in other ways. Do this. Because +1 Rock Slide is actually really, really strong. And this could help you deal with Braviary and Gyarados, which are 2 of the biggest problems for Falinks. Because with my set, for example, you can't actually do anything to Falinks, or to Gyarados or Braviary. You just have to beat them with the other members of your team, which can be difficult. So, yeah, this set's kind of a work in progress. Mess around with it, I would say. It's unclear to me what the best way of using... I feel like Cobra Berry is actually really cool, because Psychic types you can kind of get around, like... I don't know, like, Trick Room you don't really bring Falinks to regardless, but Flying types are really difficult, so... I feel like messing around with this somehow, maybe it could be interesting. Flying types are really dangerous for this for my team, at least. Flying types are really hard, and so... Maybe using a set like Cobra Berry, which lets you survive, or to, like, at least take attacks better, and yeah, with a move to hit flying types could be interesting. You could pair this to Excadrill and like max Falinks, and then go for max Rock Slide. That could be interesting. Although you'd have to run slower Excadrill than you want, so I don't know. This is close to what I wanted. I don't think this is exactly right, but mess around with this if you're interested in this kind of set. I would say like there's definitely I'm seeing something that I think could actually be good with Falinks if you want to use Falinks. I would say there's something approximately good here. There's also a couple other sets you could run. You could run Assault Vest. I don't really recommend Choice Scarf on this set. I think finding ways to use No Retreat is the best way to use Falinks. It's the main reason you would use it, in my opinion, over like Because Falinks doesn't have that much. Falinks really has nothing except for Defiant that Conkeldurr has. Or that Conkeldurr doesn't have, excuse me. So I think that's pretty much it. I like Falinks a lot. I think it's a super cool Pokemon. And though I don't expect this thing to win Worlds necessarily, I think that it has more potential than people are giving it credit for at the moment. So maybe, like, I'm sure it will see some usage on some teams. Like I said, I think the Psychic Seed thing I came up with is actually pretty good. And if maybe people can take that and make it better than my team. Although my team is pretty good, but it's not like it's not something I would feel comfortable bringing to a tournament just yet, because it's a little weak to flying types and Trick Room. So yeah, but I've been testing it and it's been really good. Anyway, I think that's all I want to say. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know which Pokemon you'd like me to see next in the description down below. Also, please like this video. And I think that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later for the Falinks battle. Peace.